Hi there. For a minute there, I thought, wow, I don't even know if I'm going live in the right place. Technology messes with your head every once in a while, doesn't it? Okay. So, hi there. I want to talk to you about perfectionism today. It seems to be coming up a lot in what I'm doing, in what I'm confronting with other people, with the reactions that I'm having to the steps that I'm taking. So I wanted to be really vulnerable with you guys and share what is happening with, like, arguably the biggest thing that's ever happened to me and my response to it because it's fascinating. So I think perfectionism has everything to do with being safe, with feeling secure and safe from criticism, safe from people's judgments about you being not enough, not good enough, not worthy, all of those ridiculous and yet so gluey sorts of messages that roll around in our head and come up far too often. So, what happened for me yesterday is that I did my very first network live. I mean, sorry, not network, but what's it called? It's a live, yeah, live network show called Awake TV Network .live. It is the first of any live shows that are going on online ever in the history of the world. Okay, that's big enough. Okay, big enough. And that I get to have a show on there is mind blowing to me. Absolutely just blows my mind. So there I am. I'm suddenly like, yeah, you can have it. They're like, you can have a show. And I'm like, okay. And it's going to be about the feminine face of leadership. Fabulous. I'm finally going to be able to put out all of the information that I've garnered over 40 years of my life. And I'm going to be able to bring people together and have, one-on-one conversations like I did in my very first episode of my very first season yesterday. And I'm also going to be able to do roundtables, and I'll be able to just bring the really important information that is just not talked about. It's not talked about in the way that I do. It is not talked about in the way that has been proven with my work with people I've worked with to be so freaking successful in breaking women out of perfectionism and breaking them into authenticity so that they can be able to do what they need to do in their lives, in their businesses, in their Facebook lives, in taking on a blog or a podcast or whatever it is that people need to do to break through this reticence to be as important as we all are in our own individual ways and to reveal that, to like show that in some way. Okay. So I'm very excited about it. I'm getting ready to do it. And I'm like, holy mother of God, this is kicking my butt because I'm also doing this visibility challenge and it is making me more visible as well as the TV show. And I'm like, I'm cool. On the one hand, my sort of external internal, I don't know if that's going to make sense, but it's going, hey, I'm cool, man. I've been an actor for 25 years. I'm good. I love being on camera. I love talking to people. I love expressing. I love expression, self-expression. It's good. I'm fine. I got this. But what's going on behind the scenes is because I'm not perfect, because I don't have that sense of security, of like knowing the crystal ball thing where you go, oh, in 3 months you're going to be a millionaire and everything will be fine and people will love you and all that stuff. Because I don't have that. I'm finding that my reaction to this is that I am sleepy. I'm sort of, some people would say I'm trying to self-sabotage by being sleepy. There's so many ways to self-sabotage to keep yourself safe, seemingly safe. Really, it's far safer in the long run to move forward and out into the world and show who you are and be who you are, because that's something real that you can build on. If you keep trying to build on, hi, I'm fine, really, I'm good, I'm a happy person, it at some point it falls apart, or it just takes its massive toll on you, and it's just no good. So building on authenticity truly is the only way to go. And to my vast surprise, I am sleepy all the time. I am having to fight sleeping like all day. I'm having to fight it every day. So it really makes me think about this perfectionism thing and how we like it because it gives us a security to remain who we are while we move forward. And that's a really interesting thing because honestly, if you're going to change, if you're going to move forward, let me put it this way. If you're going to move forward and do something different in your life, you're going to expand your abilities. You're going to expand the ways that you impact people. How do you do that if you're going to stay the same as you've always been? It just doesn't work. And I mean, that just kicks our butts. We're like, oh my God, how am I supposed to deal with showing up more? How am I supposed to emotionally deal with being more and letting people see that and giving people the opportunity to like judge me and think things about me and it's a lot, right? It's a lot. Um, and so there are a lot of us out here. There are a lot of women out here. I'm not exempting men, but I know the struggles that we women go through with the topic of visibility and perfectionism and trying to appear like we have it all together, you know. And the fact is that we just it doesn't work that way. You cannot stay the same and change. You know, you cannot stay the same and then become more visible. So the question becomes, it's really sort of twofold. Do you want to stay in perfectionism? Do you want to stay in a place of security where you don't have to sort of challenge yourself? You don't have to be afraid. You may feel really good about where you're staying, or you may feel like, well, I'll settle because it's better than that challenge of putting myself out there and risking for to have people sort of judge me and tell me what they think. Or do we want to say that there's something that is stronger than that need to self protect, that very human need to self protect? Is there something stronger that will help us get out of the perfectionism and move us forward? What on earth could that be? And that's what we have to really focus on. So it has to be something that means more to us, just 1% more to us than the current kind of comfort offers us. And so that's one part of this is there something I feel 1% more, at least 1% more passionate about than I do about staying sort of like this and peeking out whenever I can, you know? Is there something like that? And the other part is if we say yes to that, then we have to get into action. And when we get into action, we have to understand this because if we start jumping into action and going, okay, I'm going to reveal it all, I'm going to go 100%, that's really asking far too much of ourselves. It's not going to be comfortable at all, and it's not going to work very well, if at all. So instead, we have to understand your mindset really is everything when it comes to having the courage and the ability to break away from perfectionism and move into experimentation and challenging oneself. Please understand that it is not that you have to reveal everything about yourself. You just don't. You get to decide on one thing that you might want to share. And a great example is just what I did at the start of this live stream. I told you there are so many good things that are happening, and I'm completely willing. I have no seeming resistance to doing any of this. I love it, but my internal chronometer, my internal emotional settings are losing their mind, and all they want to do is go to sleep. I had to force myself to stay awake all morning because I just want to curl up on the couch and sleep. And The reason I don't let myself do that is because I am more than 1% now. It used to be just 1%, but I'm more than 1% passionate about leaving my mark in this world, about sharing the information that I have gathered and the insight and the creative views and the vision and the wisdom and the whatever, the lunacy even. I need to share everything that I can share because I feel and I have witnessed that it is transformational. Now, is there something that you feel passionate about sharing? Is there something you feel passionate about doing? Is there something that you're like, my God, if I die without doing this, being this, or trying this, I'm going to really feel bad about that? I mean, this could be anything. I talk about it these days in terms of feminine leadership. But what if it could be skydiving. Um, it could be speaking to somebody about a problem that you have with them and it terrifies you. I did that last night. With my coach. I was terrified. I wrote a long email to her, a long, actually, instant message to her about some problems that I felt that we were having in communication and how I didn't feel that what I needed was being provided to me in terms of her approach. And I was terrified, but her response was amazing. Her response was, thank you. Her response was, you're so courageous. Her response was, let's talk about that. I mean, that kind of courage to step into one thing. I'm not revealing all of my life, but you do have to get into action if you're going to confront perfectionism. I know that this is difficult. Oh, dear Lord. Yes, I get it. And that's why you need to have support. It's why you need to have friends who understand what it takes to step into a courageous moment, to confront your perfectionism, perfectionism. Oh my God, it is so full of stuff. It's full of, I want to be liked. It's full of, I don't want to make a mistake and people laugh at me. It's full of, let's see, maybe you can give me some example. What is perfectionism full of for you? I mean, perfectionism has a different impact and a different meaning for everybody, but it does keep us safe. Please tell me, is there anything that this does for you? And or actually keeps you from doing. So once we find out what we are 1% more passionate about conveying or being or doing, then we can choose which action we want to take. And we can also choose which part of ourselves we're going to reveal in that effort. We don't need to reveal our whole self. Being authentic, letting go of perfectionism altogether and just being a crazy woman, well, you know, that's not really optimal. It's not going to give you what you need. It's not going to help you in your communications. It's not going to help you in what you're striving to do. Although I do recommend getting with some friends and becoming wild women or wild men and just like expressing yourself. But if you're trying to be really specific with your business, with your life, with who you're talking to, you don't have to be perfect and you also don't have to be a screaming crazy person. Okay. Now, this kind of setup, this kind of thing is what we're talking about in the visibility challenge. We're talking about what it takes to let yourself be visible, the kind of confidence it takes, the kinds of visibility you can cling to, and the kinds of parts of yourself that you can identify and then you can hold to, even if you're in an uncomfortable situation, so that you can do the things that may be a little harder than you're used to. Like when I wrote to my coach and I said, my business coach, and I said XYZ, and I don't think this is working, and this is what I really need, and what I was clinging to was, I know that I won't be able to live with the year that I'm signed up for with her. I won't be able to remain happy and moving forward in my business, and I will be resentful for an entire year. I can't support that. I can't have an energy of of being upset for a year and do well in my business. The two don't go together. So that's what it was that made me able to go, okay, I got to write this. I got to write this thing. And the outcome was fantastic. Did I feel fear? Yeah, I did. Did I feel awkward as hell? Yeah, I did. And that's okay, because I still was able to put myself there and go, what I'm having faith in is my truth. And what I'm having faith in is my desire to move forward. I'm having faith in my ability to express myself. And it's phenomenal. It makes you feel stronger. It's how you build your confidence. We're going to talk about things like this in the Visibility Challenge. So I invite you to join the Visibility Challenge. It is free. It is 5 days. I'm going to tack on some extra days on the end for bonus speakers. You are going to learn a lot. You're going to grow a lot. It is absolutely the work that I was born to do. So I invite you to come join my private Facebook group, the Courageous Confidence Group, and get in on this. It starts on the 17th of this month. So it's like a little under 2 weeks. It's a little more than a little less than 2 weeks. Come and join us, because what you're going to learn is going to really change your life. It's going to change the ways that you respond. It's going to change the ways that you see yourself. It's going to change the abilities you have to be strong, to be powerful, to be outspoken, to be courageous. It's really going to do a lot for you. And I don't say stuff like that unless I really mean it. So my name's Lori, in case you haven't figured that out. My name's Lori Kirstein. I am the founder of the Goodbye Good Girl Project, and I really hope to see you in the challenge. It's going to be absolutely mind-blowing. Come have your mind blown. Thanks for checking in here, and I hope to see you soon. Bye now.